Well, we're doing something unusual today. You know, I have to get out of the vortex of current events every now and then. And I'll be honest with you, people are texting me all the time, Lance, we need to call for fasting and prayer. America needs fasting. And the more people talk about fasting, the hungrier I get. And yes, I'm agreeing fasting. I'm going to pick some days for fasting. I'm going to let everyone know when those days are. But right now, this isn't the fast. It is the feast, because there's a time to fast, a time to feast, and I think there's going to have to be some feasting strategies we have. Now, Mercedes, you told me that as I was talking about, well, you know, we got to be fasting, but I'm hungry. Mm-hmm. You said you called Dave, the great gourmet creator, and you were calling him for a recipe or what?
I was. Now, Dave is a good friend of yours and Annabelle, and we've been chasing him for nearly 2 years because he is one of the best bakers, recipe guys out there. In fact, we'll hear about it later, but a lot of the recipes that you know and love at some of your favorite restaurants, Dave is the originator of. And so I was thinking, I'm trying to make these popovers at home. I'm trying to go gluten-free. I can't get them to turn out. And so I thought, you know who's going to know how to do this? Dave will know how to do this. So I called Dave up and we got to talking, and I was like, hey, man, where are we at with these cakes? Where are we at with these cookies? I mean, he's got so many crazy things in the kitchen. He's always coming up with.
He's like a genius. You know, for instance, at my house, he'll eat something, and then he'll go, needs a little pinch of salt. He can analyze all the elements that are in it. And so I'll tell you how you know him, because he was the genius in the old original coffee cake recipes for Starbucks and the lemon pound cake, wasn't it?
Yeah, the lemon pound cake.
I loved it. I got addicted to that because I just had the little chunks of orange in it or lemon peel in it. It was chewy. Well, anyway, we got Dave now in the kitchen here at the home office. And so I want to bring in Dave Nolan. Dave, come on over.
Hey.
Yeah.
Good to have you today with us.
Good to be here.
All right,
Good seeing you. Hey.
So now, Dave, I think you're a gourmet chef, but you're like an everyday kind of guy. You're not pretentious, like a French chef. You know, you're American, make America great chef. Your ingredients, though, you talk to Annabelle. Annabelle's always telling me, well, I need something really help. My wife's like really on these cleanses all the time. So you listened to her, and you actually got products and elements for your fresh creation that are what? Organic? Is organic what?
Yes, all of these ingredients are organic, yes. Everything we're doing here is all organic.
Organic flour?
Yep.
Organic butter, organic sugar, organic, what is that?
Sour cream.
Sour cream, what's that?
Cage-free organic eggs, which are really hard to get when you're chasing those eggs. Chickens down.
You got to chase the chickens yourself? Dave goes the extra mile for you, ladies and gentlemen. And what is this here?
So this is what's going to, when we reveal what we're doing here, this is going to be the center goo, and this is the crumb on top of the coffee cake.
All right. Now, Mercedes, you guys, you cook really well. You do some great baking yourself. So let's talk about the one thing I'm waiting for is the great coffee cake, right? Isn't that your preeminent product?
Well, for now it is. That's one of them. But this is actually something you had at our house last Thanksgiving, and you loved it with the coffee. And then when you called me about this for Thanksgiving, everybody's got pumpkin pie, they got pumpkin cake, they already got pumpkin. So we thought, let's do something that's unique. So this is something you'll eat the morning of Thanksgiving prior to the Thanksgiving meal.
Ooh.
And this is great with a cup of coffee.
Now, this coffee cake, at one point in America, you were doing how many slices?
Right at 3 million a week.
3 million a week?
Right. We turn our ovens on, and we run 72 hours straight before we turn those ovens off.
Mamma mia. All right, well, we'll leave the all-organic elements that go into the cake, and let's take a look at the finished product, right?
By the way, we don't do anywhere near that now. That was the Hill Country Bakery, the company we sold back in 2018. Yeah.
So now you're kicking up your own new entity again, and you're doing something original.
Yep.
But the coffee cake is back.
Yes, yeah. When we sold our company, when we sold the company back in 2018, we had already shifted what's called own brand recipes. So we took the recipes I created that were in there for 20 years at Starbucks that everybody loved, and then they had me recreate it for them. So we sold the company. Those recipes went on. Those companies are now being produced for Starbucks. This product is actually the product that was in Starbucks for all those years. It's a square piece. You still see a version of it in there, but it's not our version. So that's what this is.
This is like Coke Classic, ladies and gentlemen.
So this is the cake, and this is like what you're saying, like you brought to Lance for Thanksgiving. And basically, we want to bring to everybody at home that
Yeah.
if you're interested in having this for your Thanksgiving, it's something we're doing with Dave. And you said, like, you can't get it anywhere else right now.
No, we're not just coffee cake.
Yeah, this is what you used to be able to get in Starbucks. I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, things do taste a little different now. And then I don't know if you guys want to get a close-up of that. So this layer here, you're saying is this.
That's correct.
So that is that part. And then the top part is this cookie crumble almost. Not cookie, but it's like, what is that, Dave?
Like
It's
a
like
Texas pecan, roasted pecan.
Oh, get
crumb
this,
that goes on
Texas.
top.
These are Texas roasted pecans. He chases the pecans like he does the chickens.
These are harder to shell, though.
Oh, I
Yeah,
bet.
well, there's a price you pay to have a Texas pecan.
I love it.
But I want to ask you a question, though.
Yeah.
I love when people talk to me about the elements that are there. So this is, you put a lot of energy into texture. I mean, you look at a lot of things we don't think about, not just the flavor. But I mean, you designed this whole thing on purpose, like a nuclear scientist.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely. In fact, what's interesting about this took me about 15 or 20 tries to get this just right, meaning that we had to get the crumb just right. We had to have it suspended here. So a lot of times the specific gravity of the cake, we want it to be textured and moist. But if it's too soft, this center here will just sink to the bottom and it'll be gooey in the
The
bottom.
specific gravity of the cake, ladies and gentlemen. I told you, it's like a science.
And I know a lot of bakers probably have that problem. It sticks to the bottom of the pan. So we had to work that. Then we had to work the butter ratios into the fat ratios so it to lift and stay inside the cake.
But slow down.
I'm sorry.
We're
I'm
novices on this. The butter ratio.
The fat in the center goo,
And
we call it.
Right,
the cinnamon brown sugar goo.
And it's cinnamon and brown sugar in there.
That's correct. And butter. And it's an organic Pelugra butter is what we use.
And it's the organic butter.
Yeah, what's interesting about that is it's an 84% butter fat, which is really important because the standard American butter is only around 79 to 80% butter fat. So this gives us a lot more butter fat, which gives you a lot more softness and buttery flavors, creaminess, all that's important.
84%. See, it's the specificity.
Exactly.
It's like mastery is in the details. And so it's the 84% organic butter fat.
Yeah, unfortunately, too, it makes me sad because when I sold the company, this is the product we were actually selling. Today, they removed the sour cream. They put a powder sour cream.
What a second.
Yeah, and they go to margarine instead of butter.
Oh,
So that
wow.
changes it. Oh yeah, it changes it completely. You'll see a totally different product. This is the one that was in there for over 20 years.
Well,
This is for
And
you.
by the way,
And I know
we
you're
had
thinking about it.
at the time we were in those stores, we had 18 products. There was 36. We were the top 12 every week in our sales. The lemon pound cake, the banana bread, the pumpkin
the
bread.
banana bread was yours?
Oh yeah, yeah. All the loaf cakes and all the coffee cakes and all the muffins were belonged to us.
Do you feel guilty about all the weight you put on Americans during that period?
No, because I opened a company called Alpha Warrior, which is a fitness company. So I helped
I
you
thought that
gain
was
weight, but
ironic.
Now I'm helping you lose the weight.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, there we go. Look at that moisture. This is what you're talking about, the specific
Yeah, and
gravity.
there's no artificial colors, sweeteners, flavors. It's all natural, all organic.
That's
See,
huge.
the specific gravity of this goes right to my stomach at the lowest level. Oh. And it's moist.
Yeah.
And when they get it, it's moist.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Well, and how long do these last, Dave? So people are looking at home saying, hey, that looks really great. I'm going to eat it the morning of Thanksgiving. I'm going to eat it for lunch at Thanksgiving.
Right,
I'm
I'm
going to eat it for
fasting.
dinner at Thanksgiving. Well, by then we would have won the election and we can celebrate and have our coffee cakes.
Well,
So how long do they last
last
for?
year at our house, when Lance was there, it lasted to about 9 a.m. It went really quick.
The cake.
And 2 cups.
That sounds terrible, doesn't it? The cake only lasted until 9 a.m. when Lance was our guest.
But so you're talking about shelf life, right?
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
if it comes in, well, we have to show how it comes in. 'Cause you want to show
sure.
the opening first and kind
Sure,
of
go for it.
a feel for that?
Lance is holding on.
I'm
to
holding
his
on to my cake.
You want to do it? You want to
Yeah,
unbox
go
it?
for it.
Or you hold the cake?
No, you box it. I'm eating the cake.
Okay, so you get a box like this,
Okay.
come in. There'll be ice packs in here, but we're going to ship the cake to you frozen. And with ice packs, it'll thaw on the way to your house. It'll be an overnight shipment to you. And then when you get it, there'll be padding and stuff in here, but basically you're going to have this cake come in, this coffee cake. It comes in in what we call a Novacart. It's a bakeable tray. So we
Okay.
make it and bake in this product, and then we overwrap it.
Wait. Slow it down.
Okay,
You
I'm
make
sorry.
it in a what? A bakeable tray?
It's a bakeable tray.
What does that mean?
So this is grease-proof and bakeable at a high temperature of 400 degrees. Now, we don't cook it that hot.
See why I like to get the details. All right.
So we deposit. So think about what we have to do here. We put a deposit in. Then we put this
Oh, wow.
in the middle of it all, which is
Yeah.
what we got. And then we put another deposit on top, and then we put the crumb on top of that.
Wow.
And right now in our oven, we do about 80 cakes an hour in our oven, our current oven. Whereas before, I think we did 2,100
Wow.
in one oven. We had
This
four
is
lines.
made
on
with
it.
even more care and personal attention from the chef.
It's true.
I love it. So if it comes in like this,
Okay.
you could actually put it back in the freezer and last a year, but you're not going to. You're going to
okay.
open it.
Yeah.
So in your refrigerator, air is not its friend. You don't want to
Mm-hmm.
do that. But if you keep it wrapped in a Tupperware or something wrapped on this,
Okay.
and you can leave it in here, cut out of here, it'll last like 2 weeks in the refrigerator.
Great.
Right?
That's really good. And so
Ambient,
you're saying heat
7
it up,
days.
throw it in. It goes in at like 400 degrees. You can heat it up. Take the plastic off.
Oh
and
no,
then
no,
put
this
it in
is
the oven.
fully baked.
Oh, but what if you want
This
it
is
warm?
well. You can put it on
I?
a slice.
Okay.
Stick it in the oven. Put the oven up for 350.
Okay.
And you put it in for like 6 minutes, and it'll warm it up really well. Or you can microwave it again
Okay.
to rewarm it.
Oh, nice. I like that.
But that's but it comes in fully baked, ready to go.
What's
I like
the
that,
best
yeah.
beverage to have with it?
Oh, that's for me a black espresso is what I love to have with it. What's your favorite coffee?
Whatever this is right now. This coffee is it, folks. This is the best coffee with the coffee cake.
Oh, I like that bitter black coffee with that sweet. crown
That's what
of
this is. This
fond.
doesn't have any milk in it, so it's bringing out something in the flavor.
Yeah, it's really good when you do that.
All right, so now here's the deal. Limited.
Ah.
I asked Dave to make 500 because I know it's going to go fast. I can't emphasize how fast this is going to go. Dave's going to specially make 500 for my friends, family, for our partners we have in the ministry. Mercedes, tell people how can they get the access to the treasury of the 500?
Absolutely. So, Lance, if people want to get a hold of this, we want you guys to make sure you're one of the 500 that get it. You're going to go to lancewallnau.com/cakes. Really simple domain, lancewallnau.com/cakes. And this is something Dave and I were talking about. We like to think of this as cakes for a cause, because every time you buy a cake from Dave at that link, a portion of that is going to go towards everything we do here, everything Lance is doing, expanding the kingdom. And so
Expanding the kingdom, people.
Expanding the
I'm
kingdom.
expanding the kingdom right now.
this cake is disappearing behind this floral arrangement.
I know.
You can't even see it. But yeah, so check it out, lancewallnau.com/cakes. And the big thing we're really big on is bringing you quality products. We don't bring you anything we don't personally use, we don't personally do. And behind the scenes, we are spoiled with Dave's cakes, and soon you'll hear about his cookies and all sorts of crazy things he's cooking up.
His
So-
cookies, I might add, were at my daughter's wedding. That's the extent to which I enjoy Dave's delicacies. I was going to make this lancewallnau.com/delicacy. No, because it might be hard to spell. Then I had gourmet. No, because so that's how we ended up with cakes.
That's how he got with cakes, exactly. So
Spelled Kakes.
there you go.
Now, Dave, here's the fun part. Now, for a while we didn't talk about it, but then we decided, well, it's part of God's story.
Yep.
Dave has like a genius mind. He doesn't see things like you and me, literally. Dyslexia. So when I met him at a business event down in Cabo San Lucas, that's when we discovered that he was very self-conscious about this. And I think the Lord helped to use us to say, you don't have to be self-conscious about this. I mean, Patton had the dyslexia. There's inventors. You got it, because when you got dyslexia, you have to see it in your head. And you see in 3 dimensions the process of building a business. It's a gift, folks, but it started, oddly enough, what was the original recipe? The original recipe was God's recipe for you. And what's the God story here?
So I got to come clean. These aren't my real recipes. They've been modified, but so back, gosh, almost 30 years ago, I was at a little revival in Midland, Texas, like 50 people in a revival. I'm just stepping back into going to church with my wife, and she's pregnant with my first auditory. And the Lord spoke to me in a prayer and said, hey, I want you to take care of Jory and Sue Walden. Now, Jory and Sue Walden is Delinda's parents.
Your wife's parents.
Right. And I'm thinking, okay, we have a little restaurant. I don't know how I'm going to take care of it. We just had a Ford Explorer what do they call it? They picked it up and took it back to the bank, repossessed it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, well, how am I going to do
You're
this?
not exactly an independently wealthy guy.
No, we're losing money pretty quickly. So I thought, well, okay, Lord, I can have the restaurant, start a mowing business, whatever. Yes, I'll take that assignment. I'll take care of Jordan soon, right? And then when I was leaving the building that night, the evangelist, his name was Scott, came up to me and said, "You are about to start a company, and when you do, God's going to trust you with the money for when the end times call. You're going to have the money to help fund the end time harvest."
Wow.
And he said to me, "When the baby's born, that's when it's going to start." That was in July. In December, Tori was born December 6th in 1994, and I had an opportunity to take a product to Starbucks to show them what product we were doing, and they loved the product. We had 300 manufacturers doing these products, and we were the ones that were selected, and that was the banana bread and the pumpkin bread. Interesting is, that wasn't my recipe. That was Jordan Sue's recipe. So when God said, "Will you take care of them?" He gave me the means by what she had in her cookbook that I took, that America loved, her banana bread and her pumpkin bread. And then from there, we created the lemon pound cake. This is actually based on her coffee cake.
Wow.
So it's been for 30 years, but longer in my heritage, that God's planned these cakes to be successful. All I had to do, and all you have to do, is say yes to the calling.
So the recipe was there, you were willing to do it, and the rest of it is like thousands of slices later.
Yeah, we started in 97, and we were national at Starbucks by 2000. Is when we first our first national rollout. At that time, they had 3,600 stores. By the time we sold, there were 17,500 stores that we were selling to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Once again, this coffee cake,
It's disappearing.
which is all that we have left of it right now.
Cut it a piece.
You see half of it. I've been nibbling away while we've been talking. And I got to say that if you have a kind of a sweet tooth, this doesn't make you feel kind of like full or clunky. This is light. I mean, there's something about this which is elegant. Once again, I've only got 500 of these cakes. They're going to come frozen, you said, but it comes with the baking.
Ready to go. Yeah, frozen, thawed out.
But ready to go. Even bake it up and heat it up. But you got to go to lancewallnau.com/cakes. Use code Lance. And I'm sorry to say there'll be a cutoff on this. I guess we have to cut it off by November 15th.
Yes.
That's it. So we had a limited supply and a deadline. So jump on it now is what I'm trying to say.
And they may not even make it till the deadline. So don't plan on the deadline. Plan like if you're hearing this and you're like, hey, I also want to fund the end time harvest. I want to partner and I'm going to get a cake. It's going to be great for, it's going to be great for dinner and for breakfast all of the time. Go grab it. lancewallnau.com/cakes. Make sure you're one of the 500 that's going to get this.
So cake with a cause.
So remember, that's cake with a cause. And Dave, I think what we ought to do now is the whole staff and the crew are watching me eat. Oh. And so why don't you cut some slices for the rest of them?
All right, let's
and we're going to see you all again on tomorrow's broadcast. Looking forward to talking to you. Bye-bye.
Did you enjoy this latest episode? Please remember to share it with your friends, because the more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to navigate the world.